Good evening. It's a beautiful Saturday. It's my hope that yours has been a great day. Thank you so much for always keeping it TV47. This is the night of her say, and of course we'll be getting to that conversation shortly. I'll be telling you whom we host. It's indeed going to be an incredible conversation, and of course she's been picked amongst those ladies that are considered to be extremely beautiful, of course brilliant when it comes to the question of production, when it comes to the beauty element, where of course she's been a great model in the global fraternity. And therefore tonight we speak to her just to get to understand her role and the role that she plays in making sure that she sells Kenya to the global stage, in that she is working with the Kenya Tourism Board to make sure that at least we get to make a lot of noise so the world can understand just how beautiful of a country we have. And indeed, shortly we'll be talking to Nicole Murphy. That will be a conversation that you do not want to miss out on. But we still have lots lined up for you in relation to news, and so we take that highlight and we come back and tell you some more in that. Tonight, questions emerge on Kenya's readiness to handle an Mpox crisis if it were to hit.
In case there's increase in monkeypox, and we'll continue educating you using the community health promoters and other means of communication.
As medics say, we have a long way to go.
We must have functional healthcare system. We must have a public functional healthcare system into the counties and the facilities.
And a section of University of Nairobi students disrupt business and travel along the Waiyaki Way, demanding the release of their leader Rocha Mazao, who is said to have disappeared last night under unclear circumstances.
Mazao has gone missing since yesterday around 9 p.m. We have tried to reach our president, but we cannot get to him.
Tonight we shine a spotlight on the untold stories of the magical beauty that is the Meru National Park. My name is Linda Alela. Our sign language interpreter is Rhoda Nyamai, and the hashtag as always is #HerSay. We'll be looking at some of your comments as we continue with the broadcast, but we go straight to news, and on a rather unfortunate piece where tonight you are being warned to desist from handling or consuming bushmeat. That is following reports of cases of Mpox affecting the country, and of course this comes as panic and fear are at all-time high. That is among residents of Busia County after the second case of Mpox was confirmed in this very county, of course at Malaba, as Ruga Ival details.
A little over 24 hours after the Health Ministry announced the second lab-confirmed case of Mpox discovered in Malaba, residents are a worried lot. A majority of residents there, most of whom are business people operating along the Kenya to Uganda border, say they are finding it hard to strike the delicate balance of between life and livelihoods.
Tuko na waziwazi kubwa sana hapa Malaba juu hatujui inaweza shuka kwa sababu boda, watu wanaanza kuvuka kwa boda, pengine mtu anatoka Kongo, ametoka Uganda, ametoka Zaire, anapita hapa hivi na pengine ana hizo virusi.
But speaking after inspecting Malaba Port's health facilities at Malaba, Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni urged Busia residents to remain calm and vigilant, as there was no cause for alarm since the government has put adequate measures in place to mitigate the spread of Mpox disease.
Busia has the largest borders, and we want to assure you that we will continue joining hands so that we are able to protect ourselves and protect the lives of Kenyans.
With the county announcing its second Mpox case with more test results being expected, questions are emerging about the country's readiness to deal with a full-blown Mpox crisis, with Health CS Deborah Mlongo saying all is set.
But we just want to assure all Kenyans that there is heightened surveillance across all the country to detect all suspected cases. Equally, we've improved the diagnostic capacities, and we have 4 laboratories conducting testing. Coordination has been improved. The Public Health Emergency Operations Center has been established, and the incident management team is also established and up and running.
The medical fraternity in the country, however, says we are not ready to deal with the crisis if one was to hit.
We must have functional healthcare system. We must have a public functional healthcare system into the counties and the facilities.
The government keen to educate Kenyans from all cabinet offices. In a statement to newsrooms, Tourism CS Rebecca Miano is cautioning Kenyans to resist from handling or consuming bushmeat following reports of cases of Mpox affection in the country. Miano says all relevant institutions are on high alert to ensure the situation does not get out of control, especially communities living adjacent to wildlife domiciles or alongside wildlife in conservancies and community areas. Residents now are calling for enhanced screening, especially along the border.
Tunawaomba kama wahisani wale washikadau tuwasaidie na zile vifaa ambaye zinaweza kukinga mtu. Yule yoyote ambaye unaweza guzana na yeye ilikuwe umekuwa well protected.
Sana Busia because we are on the border ambayo inapita kwetu tukienda huko na huko. Tungepata elimu kwa residents wetu hapa, tupate jinsi tunaweza kujiprevent so that usipate hiyo.
Ruga Ival, TV47.
And Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has reiterated his stance on uniting the Mount Kenya region, stating that national unity can only be achieved when all the ethnic communities have been united. Rigathi, who was in Kajiado today, scoffed at politicians who he says have been a stumbling block to his bid in uniting Mount Kenya, stressing that his efforts are far from ending, as Arnold Adidi details.
Gachagua, who attended the Ma Community 25th Inter-Ministries Union Prayers at Inkinye Primary School in Kajiado Central, Kajiado County, maintains that regional unity is key in solidifying national cohesion. The Deputy President has told off politicians whom he says have been critics of his call for Mount Kenya unity.
Mimi nilianza kuunganisha watu wetu, wakaanza kunipigia kelele. Mimi si mjinga. How can I come kuambia watu ya Ma waungane kama sijaunganisha watu yangu? Si nitakuwa mimi ni mkora?
Furthermore, the president's principal assistant has hinted at a bid to reignite relations between the Ma community and the Mount Kenya region, calling on the Ma community to rally behind the Kenya Kwanza government.
I agree. Hata hii mlima ya Kilimanjaro nitaiangalia vile naangalia mlima Kenya. Wacha hii milima, wacha tuangalie hii milima yote. Si ni mzuri?
Na sisi ni watu wa urafiki kabisa. So your excellency, hii jamii wakisema ni wewe na rais, tuko hapo na hakuna mtu atatutoa hapo.
Leaders from Kajiado, including Governor Joseph Olelengu, attended the prayer conference which brings together the Maasai, Samburu, Ilchamus and other communities that identify as the Ma community. Legislators led by Kajiado South MP Samuel Parashina have also called on the government to bolster development in Kajiado.
Hapa Kajiado nataka naomba mambo ya maziwa. Naomba mambo ya mifugo iongelewe. Ndio umetupatia Amboseli, lakini naye kwa ile pesa ya national budget mnapokata kakipisi ya kupatia watu wa mlima, kumbuka ndugu yako manake Mount Kilimanjaro pia iko hapa, tukatoe kipisi kidogo. Nashukuru.
Arnold Adidi, TV47.
Thank you, Arnold, for that. Now, Kenyans from 13 counties could miss out on critical healthcare services after the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, KMPDU, issued a warning to the devolved units over a possible strike due to delays in July and August salaries without any explanation. The medics are also accusing the government of not living up to its end of the bargain on the return to work formula that ended the 56 days strike in May. This, as Marsden Karumba tells us.
The 56-day doctor strike that started on March 1st this year left many patients suffering and disrupted the entire health sector. The government, through an agreement with the Union of Doctors, embarked to their duties, but soon afterwards, the doctors are threatening to strike yet again.
As we signed the agreement on 8th of May, we expect the monies to be released from the Ministry of Health, from the Treasury, to all the 47 counties and must appear on our payroll as agreed latest in the payroll of September. Otherwise, we are going to cite the governments for contempt and we'll be ready to go back on the strike to demand for these payments.
According to the agreement, the government requested a 90-day period, but now the doctors have claimed that time has already run out and it's time for the government to act swiftly and fulfill what they promised.
The doctors of this country have been patient and we continue to be patient, but our patience should not be confused for comfort.
In line with that, the Doctors' Union has issued a warning to 11 counties over a possible strike due to delays in July and August salaries without any explanation.
These counties we put on notice that effective 5th of September, they don't need to expect any services unless the salaries for the month of July and August are paid.
KMPDU has also issued a 14-day strike notice for doctors working in Nandi and Mombasa counties for failing to pay March and April salaries that were withheld while the doctors were on strike, despite a court order for their release.
But as a union, our members have reported across the entire country that have not seen these monies in their pay slips.
Marsden Ombugu, TV47.
And Hustler Fund will next month be launching its second phase, targeting micro, small and medium enterprises in the country. The government has backed the launch, saying it shall create more opportunities for the private sector. And President William Ruto said that the MSMEs will be able to borrow up to 1 million Kenyan shillings.
Next month, an expansion to the Hustler Fund awaits, this time targeting largely micro, small and medium enterprises across the country. The MSME is looking at borrowing up to 1 million Kenyan shillings.
Tunaweka launching ya awamu ya pili, vile tutapatia pesa sio watu binafsi sasa, hata wale wako katika SMEs, wale wafanyabiashara ambayo watapata pesa mpaka shilingi milioni 1 wanaweza kukopa kutoka Hustler Fund.
About 15 million Kenyans working in the MSME sector, the government has drummed up support for the upcoming step, saying it shall create opportunities for the private sectors. This brainchild of the Kenya Kwanza government, Hustler Fund, aimed at improving livelihoods of Kenyans under the bottom-up economic model, to which so far has disbursed about 52 billion shillings to about 24 million Kenyans since its launch.
50,000 Kenyans. Every morning, they wake up to borrow money from Hustler Fund. That is the program, Waziri, you're going to learn.
Its repayment rate pegged at 80% of its users.
Tayari wamekopa karibu shilingi bilioni 52. Na watu ni wazuri, wanakopa wakilipa. 80%. Kuna wachache kidogo wako na maneno lakini tutapangia hawa mbele hapo.
CS Cooperatives Weekly for Paranya had hinted at his ministry developing a system aimed at tracking the about 19 million Kenyans who have defaulted their loans. According to the CS, there are 2 million Kenyans borrowing regularly, promising an award very soon also for the good borrowers. About a month ago, the Auditor General issued a disclaimer opinion citing inconsistencies in the management of the fund. She highlighted that the Hustler Fund management engagement failed to provide financial statements for audit review, which prevented verification of the source and authenticity of the balances. The government responded, attributing the issues to errors in data extraction, understaffing within the Secretariat during the fund's establishment, and errors in notes numbering. Sheila Chelangat for TV47.
Thank you, Sheila. Now, tonight, President William Ruto has defended his unity deal with Azimio leader Raila Odinga against claims that the broad-based government deal is meant to secure his re-election in 2027. This is after a section of ODM leaders during the homecoming of Cooperatives Cabinet Secretary, that is Wycliffe Oparanya, said that the ODM Kenya Kwanza Pact does not translate to a deal in 2027. Apollo Kamau reports on Ruto's changing political fortunes in Western Kenya and Nyanza.
President William Ruto used Cooperatives Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya homecoming ceremony in Butere, Kakamega County to defend his unity deal with Azimio leader Raila Odinga that saw 4 of the party diehards join his administration.
Na mimi nataka niwahakikishie ya kwamba this is not about short-term issues. There are things that bring us together as a nation. And there comes a time as a nation that the interest of Kenya supersede the interest of political formations or the partisan interests of parties.
This is after a section of ODM party leaders, led by National Assembly Minority Leader Junet Mohamed and Vihiga Senator Godfrey Osotsi, termed the Kenya Kwanza UDA marriage as short-lived, given it was not a coalition deal.
So hii porojo hii wanaeneza watu ndani ya town na ODM, sisi hatuna coalition na UDA. Sisi ni mambo tu hii, watu wamekutana, wengine wamepewa kasi. Hii ni kama come we stay.
Ruto's unity deal with Odinga and the appointment of Oparanya is seen as a blessing to the president, who is seeking the Western Kenya and Nyanza vote ahead of the 2027 poll in case Odinga bags the Africa Union chairmanship seat.
Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula, Wycliffe Oparanya sasa wako ndani ya serikali, na there's no any slightest complaint ambayo tunatarajia kutoka katika mkoa huu. Kwa ajili hizo ndizo nguzo za huu mkoa.
Na mheshimiwa amefanya kitu mzuri, chambo mzuri. Hii ni kuunganisha jamii ya Western. Vile walikuwa wamejaribu hapo nyuma kuunganisha network. Sasa Oparanya alikuwa amepaki nje, sasa hizi amekuja. Sasa network ya Western region itakuwa iko kamili kabisa.
Leaders from ODM and Kenya Kwanza camps further using the event to forgive one another after the 2022 campaign insults.
Wangapi wanasema leo urais anisamee tufanye kazi pamoja? Unajua viongozi wanafaa waseme ukweli. Ukisema ukweli unaenda mbinguni, si iko hivyo?
President William Ruto praised Oparanya for his vast experience in running government, saying he will give him space to steer anticipated reforms in the ministry.
Huyu Oparanya, kwa sababu ya vile nilimuona akifanya kazi katika mambo ya planning, kwa sababu nilimuona vile alifanya kazi kama gavana wenu, uadilifu alionayo, kujitolea alionayo, bidii alionayo, na vile vile kwa sababu manifesto yetu ya Kenya Kwanza na manifesto ya ODM kuna mahali zinakutana.
Vile unajua tumekuwa marafiki wa miaka mingi, lakini network ndio ilikuwa ishikani, na sasa network imeshikana. Hiyo ni kurudishia Mwenyezi Mungu asante kabisa, wewe kunikumbuka na Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga kuwa mmojawapo kwa baraza la mawaziri.
The president also rallied Kenyans to support Odinga's AUC bid ahead of the formal campaign launch on Tuesday next week. Apul Kamau, TV47.
The government has released 21.8 billion in capitation grants to public basic education institutions just days before the new academic term begins on Monday. The move, hailed as crucial by education stakeholders, comes as a relief to schools that were, of course, on the edge of financial instability due to delayed funding. The release comes at a time when the education sector is uncertain whether or not teachers will down tools come Monday. And Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos confirmed the release of the funds, emphasizing that the allocation is intended to ensure the smooth resumption of schools' activities. The funds are divided among the 3 levels of basic education, which include 1.62 billion shillings for free primary education, 6.1 billion shillings for free day junior school education, and 14.1 billion shillings for free day secondary education. The announcement, however, follows a period of intense anxiety within the education sector. Last month, the Kenya Primary School Heads Teachers Association, KEPSHA, sounded the alarm over the government's failure. All right, and now to this beautiful piece. A hidden gem lies in the great county of Meru, a wilderness less visited, and that's the Meru National Park. This park teems with a variety of wildlife species. It also harbors a rich history and is famous as the setting for Joy Adamon's book that is dubbed Born Free, and also played as a hideout for Meru revolutionary leader that is Musa Moriamu, and of course during the colonial war. Our reporter Elizabeth Atieno visited the Meru National Park and has filed this report.
The gates of Meru National Park welcome you to the true definition of an area so remote yet surrounded by undiluted natural beauty. Situated about 350 kilometers from Kenya's capital Nairobi and 71 kilometers from Meru town. To get here, you have to bear with the long hours on the road, but the rewards are immense. After all, they say where the road ends, the real adventure begins. Dear viewer, the gates of Meru National Park is a chunk of real escapade. As warm air and thick dust emanating from the rich volcanic soils deposit rise from this land, you will spot each and every variety that constitutes Kenya's wildlife system. From lions, giraffes, elephants, buffaloes, rhinos, and over 410 bird species, all battling for survival. This park boasts of unrivaled biodiversity, to say the least.
The park also boasts of having the special 5. Among the special 5 is the reticulated giraffe, which is endangered species. We also have the gravy zebra, which is also endangered. We have the Somali ostrich. We also have the Bisa oryx and the Gerenuk.
The park, which covers an area of 870 square kilometers, borders Isiolo County to the north, Tana River County to the east, Garissa County to the northeast, Tharaka Nithi County to the south. It equally borders Kora National Park, which is twice bigger than Meru National Park and is covered with dense bush, acacia woodland, and verdant tall grasslands.
Meru Conservation Area is about 4,000 square kilometers. And this conservation area is the second largest conservation space after Savo Conservation Area.
Straddling the equator, the park is intersected by 13 rivers. The rivers and mountain-fed streams pass insurmountable barriers as they snake through the Meru National Park, giving birth to its green paradise, a vital feature now that the world is grappling with the effects of climate change. Hippopotamus gather to get full advantage of this breathtaking river. The tens of hippopotamus share a single spot along the river as they balletically aim to get upstream.
Because if we have some of the rivulets drying up, the hippos will start moving upstream. The elephants will move upstream. When all these animals are moving upstream, the carnivores also move upstream. And by any chance, they'll be found outside the park. And this causes human-wildlife conflict. Actually, climate change has a correlation with human-wildlife conflict.
The wild animals are not the only ones making this pilgrimage. This is more of a showcase than a pristine national park. Here, there exists an array of activities that visitors can indulge, including game viewing, camping, picnicking, hiking, and even swimming, all made possible by tourist attraction sites like the Elsa's Gorge and Rhino River Camp, nestled within the park.
Sakopi has a capacity of 25 parks, and besides those, we have two other facilities immediately outside the park. That is Equator Safari Camp, which has a capacity of 10, and Rhino River Camp, which has a capacity of 18.
They say a people without a past is like a nation without a soul. The historic memories of the indigenous people might have been destroyed, but this baobab tree situated in this park harbors what is not to be forgotten, and it traces back to 1950s. This tree was the hideout of famous Meru revolutionary leader Musa Mwariama as he hid from the colonialists. Mwariama was the only Mau Mau from the Meru side who survived the war without being killed. He was the founding member of the Kenyan African Union and led his troops to victory in 1952 against the British troops at the Battle for Ole Nguruone.
A baobab hideout, where it is believed during the Anvil Operation Onslaught, Musa Mwariama did not succumb to the colonial war, but he only lost his life in 1989 from a snake bite.
Still in the 50s, in 1956 to be specific, a lioness dubbed Elsa was born and was bred by a couple, Joy and George Adamson. The two met in Kenya and got married in 1944. Joy had deep interest in the natural world, whereas George was a game warden for the Northern District of Kenya. In 1956, George embarked on a mission into the wilderness. Unfortunately, a lioness charged him out of the bush, and in defense, he shot and killed her, only to find out that he was protecting 3 cubs. George then brought home the 3 lion cubs. However, raising the 3 cubs proved to be difficult, and after 6 months, 2 of the cubs were sent to a European zoo. The smallest cub, Elsa, remained with Joy and George. Elsa, the lioness, was trained and then released back into the wild. Joy assimilated her knowledge and wrote a book about Elsa, dubbed Born Free, which was published in 1960, a book that brought unmatched fame to the Meru National Park. In 1961, Elsa succumbed to a tick-borne disease, but her memories live on in this park.
This is the Elsa's grave, one of the many prehistoric sites we have right here in the vast Meru National Park, which boasts of not only historical and cultural heritage, but also a remarkable wildlife ecosystem.
Meru National Park was founded in 1966 and was run by one of Kenya's most energetic wardens, Peter Jenkins. However, in the 1980s, the park fell into neglect, and for more than a decade into the late 1990s, the entrancing wilderness was virtually off limits due to poaching.
Between 70s and 80s, we had nearly all our black rhinos wiped out within the park. Insecurity was so high, we lost a lot of revenue because visitors would not come to the park. But until 1989, when Kenya Wildlife Service was established and some of the restoration programs were introduced,
the situation has improved over time, and now the park is secure.
The elephant population had reduced from 3,500 to only merely 200. This is just through poaching. And with improved security, with a lot of support from the government, We've been able to restore the population. As of 2021, we recorded 986 elephants within the Meru conservation area.
Still, human-wildlife conflict is still a menace, with communities bordering the park decrying losses and destruction caused by elephants.
Mara nyingi hata kuna wakati tulifunga barabara ya hapo Njoro Iboro usiku, tukakaa hapo mpaka saa 6 ya usiku. Na asubuhi yake tukasema tutaandamana juu ya huyo ndovu last year. Lakini ngemwanda na asubuhi yake alikuja akatuambia kwanza hiyo rora itawekwa soonest possible.
Kwa mfano unakuta ya kwamba wanyama huwa wanatoka kwa mahali makao yao wakati sana sana wa kiangazi.
According to the Meru National Park Kenya Wildlife Service team, a durable solution lies on a clever compromise that will make both wild animals and the local community happy and satisfied.
And basically, we might tell the community, we might sit with the county government and tell the community the best way is to leave the corridors open for the animals and to see if they can try alternative livelihood activities. They can do beehive farming, they can do chili farming, but not food crops.
The story of Meru National Park depicts an unbearable attractiveness of being. It is indeed a park with a rich wildlife ecosystem and a checkered history. Unfortunately, this park is less visited, and a clarion call has been made to tourists, both local and international, to visit it and embrace the beauty that lies beneath. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47 from the Meru National Park.
Beautiful piece by Elizabeth and the team. Santeni sana for that. And on that note, I think it's proper that we take that quick short break. Remember, coming up, of course, we have so much, of course, including sports, as well as that important interview on her say with Nicole Murphy, the current ambassador of the country in relation to the question of tourism. And even as Elizabeth reminds us of the beauty of a nation, it's important as well that we have people who come to visit and go out to the world to tell them indeed Kenya is a beauty. And so after that break, we come back with more.
ai.ac.ke
Welcome back to TV47 Weekend Edition. We go straight to more news where Kilifi County officials from Kenya National Union of Teachers, NAT, and the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET, have joined the list of their counterparts in other regions, declaring to join the nationwide strike set to begin Monday. And speaking in Malindi, KUPPET's Executive Secretary, Caleb Mugere, announced that both unions have officially downed tools just as schools are set to reopen for the third term. Mugere blamed the Teachers Service Commission for neglecting the welfare of teachers in the country, while NAT Secretary General Malindi Branch Moses Mramba expressed solidarity with teachers in Kilifi and across the country.
We are here in unity together with the officials of NAT and the officials of KUPPET, the branch of Kilifi and Malindi Magalini NAT. The aim is to inform our members, our teachers, that there will be no school starting Monday next week. Nobody should even think of going to school on Monday. All of us, we are on strike, and we want to tell the Teachers Service Commission that we called for this strike not only for phase 2 CBA, but because of many other irreducible minimum requirements that we gave them. One of it is that we want all the 46,000 intern teachers to be confirmed on permanent and pensionable terms.
Na nataka niambie walimu wetu wajue kwamba sisi kama chama tumesimama pamoja na wao na hatujaachilia na hatutaachilia. Tarehe 25 Jumapili saa 6 na sekunde 1 usiku, walimu wote wa Kenya wataamka waanze mgomo rasmi, halafu warudi kulala na hakuna mtu kuwasumbua.
And a section of the University of Nairobi students engaged police in running battles for the better part of Saturday afternoon when they were protesting the alleged abduction of their leader, Charo Madzao, by unknown people on Friday night. Samira Mohammed with more on that.
For the better part of Saturday afternoon, a section of University of Nairobi students took to the street to demand the immediate release of the president of the University of Nairobi Students Association, Madzao Ruto, who was allegedly abducted on Friday night. The students disrupted business and travel by lighting bonfire along Waiyaki Way, calling for the relevant authorities to see to it that Ruto, who had called out the government over the new university funding model, is safely let go with immediate effect.
Information that our president, Ruto Madzao Ndegwa, has gone missing at around 9:34 p.m. This is after the news was aired at NTV that we are rejecting the new funding model.
Our president, Ruto Madzao, has gone missing since yesterday around 9 p.m. We have tried to reach our president, but we cannot get to him. This comes at a time when the president had issued a hard stance on the issue that is being discussed on public spaces, that is on the new funding.
Reports indicate that unidentified men attempted to apprehend the president early on Friday near Hall 9 of the university, but students intervened to oppose the attempt. Madzao later left for home at around 8 p.m.
There were people who tried to masquerade around our president by asking him, they were like goons, asking him that there is some questions he needs to answer. So we did take our president away from the goons and we chased them away.
Yesterday when an alleged goon just tried to masquerade around and take him somewhere, he wanted to arrest him. So trying to search the guy, we found that he had
Reports of Madzao missing were shared by his personal assistant, who stated that Madzao was last seen near Imenti House while boarding a matatu on his way home at around 9 p.m. on Friday night.
Went to town to take our matatu to go back home. So between the matatu and home, that's where we can't find the president. And that's why we are in the streets trying to search the cars. And actually we are saying that we are not going to relent. You have taken one person. I think you need to take the whole of the University of Nairobi. You need to take the rest of all the students in the universities.
The students have now vowed to protest until the president of the university is freed by his kidnappers. The students have also slammed the new higher education funding model, claiming that the system will oppress students from poor families.
We are asking the abductors to release our president so that he can address us, not unless we will continue to join our students in going to the streets to ensure that we have our president at home.
We are saying that Nairobi will not know peace until the president of University of Nairobi is found. Comrades, power.
Power. And we will stand firm on that. Let us engage to ensure we have a good funding model which every Kenyan student, every Kenyan parent will feel comfortable.
Of all the students in the universities, because the funding model is not going to succeed. We are going to bring it down. Comrades, power! Power. Comrades, ria!
Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino took to his X account to condemn the alleged abduction of Mazdao Ruto, claiming he was abducted for refusing 25,000 Kenyan shillings handout from authorities. Samira Mohammed for TV47.
All right, and of course, as they would commonly call him, Charo, of course, we hope that Rocha then is found. The Ministry of Education, in partnership with the Action Foundation on Friday, held the Ibuka Girls and STEM National Competition at the Dagoretti Special School in a bid to empower young girls with disabilities in leveraging technology and partnerships for inclusive education and equality.
In a bid to ensure more girls take up science subjects, the Ministry of Education has embarked on a series of engagements seeking to empower girls, more so those living with disabilities.
We are gathered here today to celebrate the climax of Ibuka Girls in STEM, a program that has targeted 3,000 girls over 35 special secondary schools.
According to the Ministry of Education, only 1% of girls living with disabilities globally are literate and have knowledge of STEM subjects, with more than 50% of girls with disabilities have faced some form of violence, compared to 30% of boys with disabilities and 20% of non-disabled girls.
There has been a kind of thinking that a girl or a student with a disability cannot excel. But what we have seen, the projects that we have seen, the way the girls have been able to express themselves tells us that there is power in empowering a girl with a disability.
According to the students, the program has empowered them and made them feel equal to other students despite the discrimination they face from the society.
This program has given me, to be open-minded, to learn new things daily. It has made me understand, okay, I can do better in maths.
She thinks that she feels encouraged, and especially to come here, and the success that she has had.
Girls with disabilities face a lot of stigma in community, where people feel like because they have a disability, they probably should be married off early. Or
the Ministry of Education also admitted that the girls with disabilities face challenges due to lack of the necessary resources needed to support an inclusive learning environment. They also stated that patriarchal norms prioritize marriage over career development for girls with disability, further limiting the education and professional development opportunities.
The data we have seen that there are very few girls with disabilities who make it to high school, and the few that do are not supported to succeed. So we felt that focusing on girls is important at this point, while we have initiatives that focus on both boys and girls, so that we can shift that narrative and ensure that girls are also seen, heard, and respected. And we've also seen a shift in public perception about what girls with disabilities can or cannot do, and a lot of milestones within our schools.
Samira Mohammed for TV47.
Sports news brought to you by Maybets.
Bet bila stake. Predict the outcome of 8 pre-selected games and win up to 100,000 shillings. Only at maybets.com.
In sports, Football Kenya Federation has successfully held its special general meeting earlier today Ahead of the elections, 89 delegates were in attendance, among them representatives from the 45 FKF branches, as well as the 18 FKF Premier League, 10 FKF National Super League, 3 FKF Women Premier League, 2 FKF Women National Super League, and 10 FKF Division 1 League. Now, top on the agenda at the SGM was the adoption of the decisions by the National Executive Committee, adoption of the newly composed Electoral Board, as well as the 2019-2020 Electoral Code. Members present voted to pass the Electoral Board members and comprised of Hesbon Owila, James Waindi, Alfred Nganga, Dan Mule, and Marceline Sande. Standby members Farida Lucia Juma and Robert Akumu Asembo, and the delegates also voted to adopt the amended Electoral Code, which will now be in force for the upcoming elections.
It's past 10.
And blocking us from having this meeting so that we cannot have elections. Now, after today, members, you're going to install the Electoral Board of FKF as per our statutes. And you're going also to install the Electoral Code, both of which will be used in the coming months. And FIFA has been very clear that we must conduct our elections by this December 31st. And therefore today, members, as you have in your agenda, you're going to pass this. You will, once you pass it, then now starting today, the election process of FKF will begin. It
engages the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission to help expedite the process, since we don't have much time. They have the right infrastructure, they have the experience, and the board can tap into that experience and make sure that we do everything above board. We must make sure that there's no contention on the voter register, that there's no contention on who can run, that there's no contention on any matters that we think will be able to delay this process any further.
The national team that participated in the Olympic Games in Paris has been feted for a stunning performance and flying the Kenyan flag high in an event that was organized by the National Olympics Committee of Kenya in partnership with the Kenya Tourism Board and other sponsors. The celebration saw gold medal winners receive 1.2 million Kenyan shillings, while the world record holder Beatrice Chebet earned 2.4 million shillings, as our sports reporter Boniface Kimanzi details.
Kenyans athletes who competed in Paris Olympic Games continue to harvest millions of shillings from their stellar performance in Paris, France. Last night, at the Kenya Awards party in Nairobi Safari Park Hotel, the medalists bagged more from the National Olympic Committee of Kenya, NOC, in collaboration with the government and private companies. The gold medal winners received 1.2 million Kenyan shillings. World record holder Beatrice Chebet earned 2.4 million shillings in these awards.
Ningependa kusisitiza ya kwamba if we the athletes we want to do better even in the next year world relays, world indoors and the world championships, if we have the same platform, the same opportunity, the same stage to go to Miramas, wacha iwe mapema.
Silver medal winners won 950,000 Kenya shillings, while bronze medal winners received 650,000 Kenya shillings.
This was a great opportunity for me to be in Paris. This was my first time, and I brought bronze to Kenya.
2 weeks ago, the athletes were equally awarded by President and his Deputy President after landing home in colorful ceremony held in Eldoret City. Kenya got a total of 11 medals, including 4 gold, 2 silvers, and 5 bronze. Reporting for TV47 Sports, my name is Boniface Kimanzi.
Sports news brought to you by Maybets.
Bet bila stake. Predict the outcome of 8 pre-selected games and win up to 100,000 shillings. Only at maybets.com.
And tonight on Her Say, we speak to Nicole Murphy, who is currently in the country working closely with the Kenya Tourism Board. Nicole is in talks for a partnership with the Tourism Board that is focused on a broader campaign to position Kenya as a top global tourist destination known for her shine as an entrepreneur, model and TV personality. She commits to traverse the different parts of Kenya as she documents as well as showcase the beauty of it to the world. And of course, we get straight to that sitting even as we release our sign language interpreter, that is Rhoda Nyamai. Well, Miss Nicole Murphy, it's a pleasure to have you on at TV47. Of course, it's been like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, basically around 4 days in the country. What do you make of Kenya so far, and what are some of the places that you've gone to?
Well, I think it's lovely. Of course, the people are amazing. You guys are the nicest people I've encountered.
Thank you.
Which is incredible. It's so pleasant to be around. Honestly, I mean, right now it's been just going to meet a lot of people, doing a lot of meetings, and so I really haven't got way out there yet. I plan on doing that tomorrow. Right. But so far, I did go tea picking, and it was beautiful. Oh, it was so gorgeous. I had a ball doing that, and I got to meet the local women and the local men, and we were out there picking tea, and it was fun. But yeah, I still have things going on where I have to go. Right after this, I'm going to a place called Clean Start to meet some women who have been incarcerated, and it's their second chance. I always believe in, women, we got to have a second chance.
I agree.
Get your life together and, just support one another. So I'm heading there right after this interview with you.
After picking tea, did you taste? Have you ever tested our tea?
Oh yeah.
The best tea in the world?
The best
Probably
tea.
the best in the world.
And the best coffee.
Oh, you can say that again. Was this really the plan? Because, well, just reading around, I think yours was a different agenda, coming to Africa or perhaps a destination of your choice, and to Kenya for that matter. Was this really the plan, or the plan changed along the way?
Well, what happened was one day, I lived in Beverly Hills, California, and went walking in my neighborhood, and I just happened to stumble across the Kenya embassy. It's not far from where I live. And then I was like, wow, that would be interesting. And then I happened to know someone who's from Kenya, which is Lovitz, the singer, and does his Afro beats, which is pretty amazing. And he, I mentioned it to him, and he was like, yes, I could show you everything. And he said, you should come and see it. So I got my best friend, her name's Rita Ewing, she's with me, and we are on this journey out here, and I'm loving it. And I think it's a great experience, because back home, everyone has this perception of Africa, of what it's about. They show the kid on television who is starving, who's got a pot belly and flies all over his face. And they'll be like, can you donate? And that's the whole perception of what Americans think of Africa. We don't know. So I think it's very important that now that I see that it's not like that. You guys have an amazing economy. You have businesses that are booming. And I think people need to know that. And there's so much more to Kenya. You have beautiful beaches that I'm about to go experience soon.
I hope you love it.
Of course. And then I'm going to go hit the safaris, of course. This beautiful hotel where I'm at right here is wonderful, Everyone's so pleasant. So yeah.
You see, this is the irony of it all, that very many people have toured Kenya. We as Kenyans ourselves, have the capability to go out there, and perhaps Africans, to speak about Africa. But it beats logic that we still have a terrible perception, or perhaps a negative perception in the global fraternity. What do you think needs to be done different? What do you think you would do different, beginning with Kenya, to now paint that beautiful picture of the place?
Well, I think I have to talk about it. I have to get the word out there. It's important for people to know. Of course, when I go home, I'm telling all my friends and all my celebrity friends as well. They need to come and explore and see it because, you know, they're so quick to go somewhere else. So why not come here? You guys have it. It's beautiful here.
This one should be said in low tones. When you're here until when?
The 31st.
The 31st. Oh, you have some cool time still to enjoy a whole week, to go to different places and all that.
Right.
So the Kenya Tourism Board then approaches you, and I mean there's some 2-3 agreements. Anything that has been farmed up just yet?
Well, we're in the talks. You know, we're in the talks. So hey, I would love to like support and do what I can to get the word out here. So
a huge brand you are. I mean, that I must tell you. Of course, in Africa, we always sing about Nicole and all that and everything. How does it feel being associated with this?
Wonderful. It's like I just came home.
Pretty much at home. I
love the greeting that I got at the airport. It was just amazing. They did a whole little ceremony dance, which was incredible. I mean, it just brought a smile to my face, how pleasant everyone is. I was like, wow, this is incredible.
All right, it's going to be a tough job. I must remind you that despite the fact that you're going to go out there and talk about how Africa is, how beautiful Kenya is for that matter, there must be an element of going extra. And therefore, what are some of the things or options you intend to explore so that at least you can sell this as a destination?
Well, that's why I think it's important for me to get out there and go meet the people and go see the different excursions, whatever it is, you know, the different businesses, and just being more involved and see that. That's why I'm going to go see these ladies right now.
Right. Of course, they said we're supposed to go with you, but then again, time would not allow us.
Because I think the more I'm out there and get the experience, then I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just the beginning, but I'm willing to do it.
Right. Yeah. So how different would you advise us to approach this matter of selling Kenya as a good tourism destination for that matter, if not tourism, a place that someone can actually come and settle?
Right. Well, that's why I'm filming everything right now. I'm documenting everything. I have a camera crew capturing the moments. So I want to put it out there. I'm going to put it out on blast so everyone can see it.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, you have a whole team, and I'm like, oh, I thought you were coming to enjoy yourself, relax and everything. Have you relaxed at all?
No.
Not yet. Oh my goodness. But then, of course,
I try to, but you know, the jet lag catches up with me sometimes, so I'll be okay. But then if I can get a nap in, I'm a brand new person. I plan on getting a nap on, my nap on today.
You actually did that. I can tell you great.
Yeah.
So we just got here and you were gymming. Just how important is this to you in life?
Gymming?
Is that the first thing you ask when you are traveling to a different destination and you say, does that hotel have a gym?
Oh yeah, but you know it's so funny. I'm not gonna lie, I slacked since I've been here because I've been jet lagged. So it's like, dang, time I get up, it's like, oh no, you got to rush, you got to get out and go meet some people. So today was my first day really getting back in the gym. So, you know, I have to make it a priority, but I just got to catch up on my sleep.
That's good. All right, so perhaps this is not the first time as well, I remind you. I said that there are very many people who've toured Kenya in particular and gone back to the world. Of course, we appreciate what it is that they have done, but like you rightfully put it, maybe there's so much that needs to be done. There was Naomi Campbell the other day, you know, as again an ambassador of Kenya to the rest of the world. How are you taking this a notch higher?
Ooh, how am I taking this? I'm going to take it serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that should be good enough.
Yes, so take it serious, then it's going to go higher. So yeah, that's my plan on it.
So of course, speaking to the Kenyans, what do we expect from you, speaking to the rest of the world, apart from, yes, documenting basically everything, and as well going out there to speak about the country and so much more. And what do you tell us about your country? You should tell us whether we should come visiting as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, where I'm at, it's wonderful. It is. It has its moments, but but you guys have the beautiful beaches out here. We have beautiful beaches, but I'm hearing yours is better.
You can be rest assured it is.
That's what I'm hearing. It's like real clear water and beautiful sand. I'm down for that.
All right, thank you so much for as well speaking to us. I hope you get to enjoy your stay some more.
Thank you so much.
We hope to have you back again and again and again.
Absolutely.
You have plans for that already?
Yes, indeed.
As soon as possible.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
That's a pleasure. Thank you.
It's mine. All right, Asante, thank you so much. Well, exactly 10 p.m. East African time. Special thanks to Nicole Murphy for speaking to us and, of course, for the team that made that a success. We have gotten to the end of TV47 Weekend Edition and her say. It was great having you as well. Asante sana, immense feedback. We did not go to that, but we appreciate you indeed. My name is Linda Alela. I look forward to see you again on Saturday. That is on her say. Do have yourself a pleasant Saturday night, even as you